Hi, I'm Thomas Manning, and welcome into Real Conversations with the Reel to Reel Film Festival from Kings Mountain, North Carolina. So glad today to be joined by Donald Wilson, the director of The Sound of Silence. So, Don, thank you so much for taking the time for this today.
Thank you. Thank you all for having me as well. I really appreciate it.
Certainly. So, look into your film. You have a background in like music video production and commercials, and this short film itself was very much guided by music and the score. So, was that kind of close connection you have with music? Did that kind of aid you as you directed this film?
Yes, I would have to say yes. When I first started out, uh, I've always been a fan of hip hop music specifically and R&B. So when I first started out, doing videography, that's all I was kind of used to. And then I started working with the nonprofit, and I needed like, neutral tone or commercially sellable, I guess, music. So I had to, get on like Music Bed and other sites like that. And over the years, my ears have opened up into, more different types of music. So now, just speaking on music, my playlist goes anywhere from hip hop to gospel to literally film scores, like back to back. So um that, that definitely helped drive this film specifically. And over the years, I've learned how music drives film in general. Like it's I won't say it's the most important thing, but if it lacks good music, or if it lacks music like totally, you'll definitely notice it. So
Yeah, and yeah, I think the music in this film was just phenomenal, and I think it really fit with everything so well. Um, and so you also have a background in photography, and were you the DP on this film?
I was not.
Okay.
Uh, my friend Tone was. He actually came in from New York. The thing about this film had zero script, zero idea. There was no kind of film even there. I just had a crazy idea. I called up my friend Janae and said, "Hey, let's go make a movie in Outer Banks." She said, "What is this film going to be about?" I said, "I don't know, but it's going to be dope. That is all I know." So because I'm a DP, I was able to map out, what I wanted visually. So we got there. I'm scoping it out. I'm seeing everything. I was like, okay, we can use this. We can shoot here. We can do this. And then, once my DP came in, I'm showing him just everything that I saw, and hopefully, he was gonna get it, which he did. So shout out to Tone, by the way.
Yeah, I think just every shot flowed together really well, and you were editor on this film as well as the director. So was that really helpful, kind of knowing how it was going to play out? Like, I guess you had that visually in your head how it was going to play out. Was that a big help for you in the editing bay as well?
Yes, it was a huge help because funny story. So we went to the Outer Banks. My aunt, she owns a timeshare there, so we stayed there for about a week or 5 days. We filmed everything, and my computer was not a good computer at the time, so the footage sat for just about a year. I couldn't even play it back smoothly on my computer. So, I kind of just fell by the wayside for a while. And then one day, I was browsing YouTube and I see this video by another a female director. And that's where I heard the music. And I saw she had got it from Music Bed, and then I just knew like it's so weird. And I talked to my film friends who do, commercials, videography, and all of that. You can't explain. It's almost impossible to explain the kind of music you want, but once you hear it, you just know that that is it. So when I heard that music, I was like, "That's it. That is it. There's no other music." So I went and bought the license for it, and then I started editing it. And it had been a year since I shot this, so everything started coming back to me. I started, getting the same excited from when we first originally filmed. So, I'm editing and I'm like, oh man, this is great. Oh man, this looks amazing. Blah, blah. So
Yeah, and with no dialogue in the film, was that always like in the script for it to be just completely like basically a silent film with just music, or was there a certain point where you had dialogue?
there, I knew we did not have, a sound person. So because of that, I knew we couldn't try to record sound, on location. So me and the actress, we decided 'cause she's a poet as well as me. So we decided we were going to write a poetry piece on top of it. And we did, but once I made the first pass, the full edit, when I heard it, with just the music, I was like, this is perfect. This it doesn't need, a poem on top of it because I feel like poetry or any other words would just actually distract at this point. So when I made that first, full pass through, it that music, combined with the visuals, it just fit perfect. It's just a perfect fit.
And like, who were some of your favorite filmmakers, either working in the past or that are working today that you kind of tried to draw inspiration from as you develop the visual style of this film?
Um, Favorite filmmaker right now, absolutely, is Christopher Nolan. My God, he he literally changes the film game every time he drops a film, and I cannot wait for Tenet. I'm
Oh
going to
yeah,
go see it. Hopefully, COVID allow us. But Chris Nolan, um, who else? What is it? Is it Adrian Lynch? Adrian, I can't remember her name, but she directed Unfaithful.
okay,
I
yeah.
can't remember her name, but that is one of my top five favorite films. Um, who was my favorite director? I really enjoy Zack Snyder. He's pretty good. James Cameron is good. Um, I don't outside of Chris Nolan, I don't necessarily follow, the directors. Everybody knows Steven Spielberg and Zack Snyder and all of them. It's really more so by the film. Uh, so what? Like I said, Unfaithful, one of my favorites. What else is one of my favorite films? Actually, just literally just finished watching the film No Escape. That was really good as well. With Owen Wilson. I love Man of Steel. What else? Actually, in some animated movies are some of my favorite films as well. The Lego Movie. Oh man, that movie was so deep. Like people don't even understand. And most recently, I've been saw it, but Avatar: The Last Airbender. That was impeccable. It was such an inspiration to me. Of course, I watched it when I was younger, but to binge watch the whole thing, man, it just hit totally different. 15 years later as an adult, and having gone through the things I went through, so I resonated with a lot of the characters. So I was definitely inspired by that.
Yeah, and I think I can definitely see that influence because your film is so visual in nature, and a lot of those films and filmmakers that you mentioned rely a lot on visual storytelling and having the camera tell the story, which very much happened with your film. So that's pretty cool to see that connection there.
Thank
Yeah,
you. I
yeah.
appreciate it.
And just having the opportunities provided by film festivals like Reel to Reel and just the film festival circuit in general, what does that mean for you as a filmmaker to have your work distributed to places that otherwise might not get a chance to see it?
Um, that is a grateful and humbling experience. I'm absolutely thrilled and excited and just thankful for every festival that accepts my film. It's so tough for a filmmaker to just, create a film in general and to have somebody like it enough to accept it to their festival to want to show their audience. There's just, there's no other feeling. There's no and this even to get to the top, this is the starting step. This is the first step, you know, in the in film world in general. So no matter where I go, whether it's to the top or even not to the top, I'm always grateful for every festival, every person I get to meet, every other filmmaker I get to meet, every festival director. I'm big on relationships, you know, so I'm grateful for every time I get into a festival. It's the same excitement as the first time. I'm always excited. You know, unfortunately, you know, COVID made us, you know, not be able to meet in person. But I'm still grateful for every opportunity that I ever get.
Yeah. And do you have any other projects that you're working on right now that you're allowed to say anything about? I don't know how confidential everything is, but
Yes, my next film, it is called I Don't. It is about a couple who was married and they are on the way to divorce, and they are trying to decide whether they really want to go through it or not. I'm actually starting pre-production on that tomorrow and hopefully filming at the end of next month or beginning of October. So that's my next big project.
awesome. Well, we'll be looking forward to that one on our radar. Anything else you just want to share about the production of this film that I didn't get to?
Um, I thoroughly enjoyed this experience. It was literally a run and gun shoot. Um, and I'm used to run and gun because you know I'm a DP and director, so I'm used to just literally directing on the spot. Um, so it was an amazing experience for me, and you know, thank you to Janae, Ariel, Tone, everybody that was involved. And you know, I've learned that it worked for me this time, but I don't think it can work every time. Um, like for my next film, this one has dialogue. I think it's about 19 pages, so it's going to be anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes. And I've learned that, and I'm going to be in it as well. So I was applying for a grant, and I had to make a storyboard. It was the first time I ever made a storyboard, and I realized how crucial that was, especially to try to convey to your DP and everybody else who's involved, like how you want your vision to be. You know, I don't. The Sound of Silence, it worked for that moment, and I have a few more ideas that are silent as well that I'll be doing later on. But I've just learned that even though I run and gun that one, I can't do that for every project. So
Well, once again, Don, I really appreciate you taking the time for the interview today. And we're really glad to be showing your film, The Sound of Silence, at Reel to Reel.
thank you, and I truly appreciate it.
And
Appreciate the opportunity.
for sure, definitely. So that'll wrap it up for us today on Real Conversations. I'm Thomas Manning. Thanks for joining.
Thank you all.